Welcome back to Really Haunted Places. Tonight's top 7 ghost stories will take you to haunted places in Nevada. The Goldfield Hotel is one of the most notorious haunted locations in all of Nevada. It is well known to fans of the paranormal and has been featured on several paranormal television shows, with even national news programs running segments on the potential evidence gathered here. It now stands abandoned and boarded up, but it opened in 1908 by George Wingfield, and his presence is still felt there today. The most famous ghost that has been encountered in the Goldfield Hotel is a young woman named Elizabeth. The legend states that she was a favorite of the hotel's owner George Wingfield, and he visited her with some frequency. However, when Elizabeth became pregnant with his child, he was concerned for his reputation and business, so he lured her into room 109 at the hotel, and he kept her chained to the radiator until she gave birth. She died in the room, and her baby was allegedly killed and thrown down a nearby mineshaft. Elizabeth has been seen in room 109, wearing a long white dress, and appears to be sad. She has also been heard crying, and some visitors have heard what sounds like her chains clanking against the radiator. Elizabeth is not the only spirit that hangs out in the Goldfield Hotel. It is believed that George Wingfield is also there, and that he is still tormenting poor Elizabeth, even in death. There are also reports of a very dark and malevolent entity on the upper floors, and there have been many different reports of poltergeist activity. What was once a bar for wealthy men is now said to be very haunted. The ghosts that have been reported here include a teenage girl who was killed in the basement, a blonde prostitute who was killed on the 3rd floor, and the prostitute's killer who took his own life on the 2nd floor. Ghosts have also been seen climbing the spiral staircase. The Nevada governor's mansion was first occupied in 1909 by the family of Governor Denver S. Dickerson. It's said to be haunted by the governor's wife, Mrs. Una Dickerson, and their child, June. This is one of the most haunted mansions in the entire U.S., and it's hard to not feel the cold chills that run throughout the entire property. The Yellow Jacket Mine in Silver City is one of the most haunted places in Nevada, thanks to a fire that ripped through the mine in 1869. The fire is said to have killed more than 35 miners, but not all of the bodies were able to be recovered. This is perhaps the reason why up to 11 spirits are still haunting the mine. Sandy Bowers and his wife, Eily Oram Bowers, were the first Comstock millionaires. With their instant wealth, they built Bowers Mansion in 1864. After the death of her husband, Eily was left broke and lost her dream home to foreclosure. There have been many reports of paranormal activity inside and outside of the mansion. Supposedly, Eily haunts the 2nd floor. She, her husband, and their children are buried on a hillside behind the mansion. On moonless nights, several people have reported seeing glowing apparitions in the hillside graveyard. The Abraham Curry House was built in 1871 by Abraham Curry, founder of Carson City. There have been several sightings of Abraham Curry's apparition. After dying in 1873 from a stroke, it's believed he goes back to check on his family after leaving them so suddenly. It seems like Elvis Presley may not have left the building at the Westgate Hotel, because it's said to be his ghost that is haunting the hotel. Originally, the Westgate Hotel was known as the Las Vegas Hilton, and even before that it was the International Hotel. It was during this time, beginning July 1969 and spanning 7 years, that Elvis set, broke and reset numerous world records with performances for 2.5 million fans. Some say that this was the site of his greatest success, so it makes sense that he would want to hang around here. Ever since his death in 1977, Elvis's spirit has been seen and heard at various places within the hotel. I want to thank you for listening to our top 7 ghost stories. And until then, good night.